Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so today, right out the start, I want to say I have opened up a ton of spots into October even, so please do grab a spot if you'd like one. I know a lot of people who watch the calendar grab multiple spots, so make room for everybody else and maybe just get one at a time if you can. But I have opened it up, so thank you everybody for seeking sessions with me, and much love. Okay, I'm going to dive right in with a channeled message from our counterparts. So let's see, let's do a DF message to the Divine Masculine. What can we get? Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel. Only the highest and most beneficial. I'm going to get a couple of cards from a couple decks. Wow, they both flew over there. Interesting. What can we see for a DFs to the DMs? Awesome. So we got everything fell on upside down. So let's see what we get. Wow. Okay. When I first felt this love, it was absolutely amazing to me because I had never felt anything like it. It felt like the promise of a whole new world. Literally, it blew my mind. It showed me that everything I've always dreamt about could be possible as far as love. It was magical. I had no idea how far I still had to go. I had no idea how ingrained in the world I was. I had no idea how long this journey would take. I had no idea that I was just beginning to see what was possible, and that there was so much involved with becoming a match for it. I wanted to jump into it. I now know that would not have served either of us. I know so much more now, but I'm not even at that place where I've fully understood what it is I'm becoming. And I am now so thankful that we aren't together because of the things this journey has inspired in me and the way that it has been supporting me sight unseen, at a distance. The inspiration you are. This path, I'm becoming so blessed by all of the things that I'm finding I have within me, the capacity, the beauty, the gifts, the awareness. I know I wouldn't be prioritizing this intimate becoming in the same way if you were in my life yet. And I'm starting to understand how strong you've been to resist the temptation to kick this off prematurely. I'm really understanding the spiritual victory, the spiritual triumph in this journey, and instead of focusing on you and giving you the credit, I am actually seeing how divinely guided this is. How I've gotten it so wrong by believing and trusting in people that were unhealed, that weren't ready, that didn't know. How I had my priorities skewed. And now as I go to the divine for my deepest understanding of everything that's happened on this journey, I see how the love I have for you is not at odds with my connection to the divine. I finally see how I can bring my spirituality into a relationship. It always mystified me. I always had this deep innate sense that the proper relationship would include the divine, and I was never able to really get there with another person. And so now I see I have to bring that. I have to bring that focus in. I've always had that within me. I just didn't know how to do it within a relationship before now. And I wouldn't say that I've figured all of that out. It's going to be so exciting to do that with you and even understand what that is, what that means, how that can look. I'm excited to know you that way. Okay, and for the Divine Masculine message, what can we see? Being told to get one from that deck. Some cards have already fallen out face down. Let's see what else we can find. For the Divine Masculine, thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information for the DMs to channel. The root chakra and fertility. Oh, this one's talking about joy and creativity, and this one is security. And then transformation. Oh, we got the same card in the same position as we did for the feminines. And 9 of water, 10 of water. As I heal more and more and find out firsthand what really makes me happy, not what the world says makes me happy, not what my parents said would make me happy, not what you've said would make you happy in our connection or any other karmic partner that I've had. Nothing that anybody has said would make me happy is what I'm willing to subscribe to ever again. I'm seeking the joy based on coming into this newfound understanding of how worthy I am, how grounded I can be within ecstasy. I'm learning what is counterfeit and what is real. I'm in the transformation towards actually going for my happiness, believing that I can be that soft, believing that I deserve it, believing I can let love make me feel good, that I don't have to be hardened, that I don't have to be a protector that way, that I don't have to work myself to the bone, that I don't have to prove my worthiness to myself, to the image of my father that I hold in my mind, that I don't have to be in competition with some unattainable level of success, that I don't have to go for being the best, that life is too short and that I need to enjoy. I don't have to overindulge to compensate. I don't have to have excess to compensate. I'm getting to a place where I'm starting to feel like I've got enough. And that means that I'm starting to feel I have enough to offer you and to be able to believe you when you say that I am enough. Awesome. Wow, okay, let's go into the Divine Masculine reading now and see what the Dear Divine Masculine Collective is thinking and feeling for their Divine Feminine. What are they wishing on the heart space for the connection? What actions are being taken in the 3D? And I want to say out loud, the conscious mind. What is the biggest challenge for the DMs at this time? Oh, I love it when I see the 4 of Wands, 1111 Union card anytime on the shuffle. What is the spirit guidance and where is the connection going in the near future? Okay, what are they thinking? Oh, they're thinking that you don't have to be the one that gets away. They're starting to envision potentials that are possible. They're starting to see how things could come in for your connection. They're starting to see that their desire to not be limited in any way can be affirmed here. That in the past they've felt like they've lost out on things, and now they're seeing how it's all possible within this connection. How some of the things that they thought were attractive are losing their luster. They're seeing through the all that glitters is not gold. And they're also realizing they don't have to just let you be the one that got away. Another level of this, they can see how your connection can grow in the future, that it can be safe. I'm getting a feeling that a lot of the divine masculines are really head on addressing their fear of rejection and willing to take the risk of the unknown in your connection. Even if they think they're getting cues from you that you're not ready, they're willing to be more curious about that now. I'm hearing many of them have been doing the ladies first motion by letting your energetic expression lead the connection, but they're starting to feel like stepping into leadership and being more in teacher mode. If they feel like you're not getting things smoothly aligned, they're wanting to help you see it from their angle. Oh, how interesting. Instead of just hoping you're going to give them the cues that would suggest that you're receptive and ready for the connection, you know, even subconsciously, energetically, they have been following your cues, Divine Feminine. They're willing to be more proactive in the connection. They're starting to realize their empowerment and how they can beneficially guide the development of this thing. What is the heart space? Oh, the sun just hit me with this, the promise of success, of abundance here. This is on the heart space. Like, this is the true gold that's just like the heart chakra exploded open just now. Like, I'm covered in goosebumps. I love it when that happens. But divine masculines have had a massive heart opening where they no longer have to take a back seat and think that it has to be fully realized and presented to them in order for it to be valid. They now see that they can create without defensiveness. It's like they're putting down their superstition that they could wreck it and putting their heart into it. And understanding that they can trust themselves, they can trust their intentions are pure, and that that's going to bring abundance into the connection. That with you, they're not going to jinx it if they tell you their opinion or share their preferences with you in a way that's openly curious about how it can work as a win-win, and not just assuming that if there seems to be a difference of opinion that it's futile. Oh, they want to negotiate. What are the divine masculines wishing for the connection? To open their minds. We just got this heart opening. Their hearts are leading the way now. Their hearts are leading the way, and that's causing them to soften into reconsidering any of the rigid mindset that has caused them to think that the connection wasn't possible if it looked like, or if they assumed your opinion was different than theirs about anything in the relationship. They've come into the balance that allows them the bravery that difference of opinion or circumstance does not have to mean a dead end. Yes. Okay, what actions are being taken? They are energetically reaching out through telepathy to feel out the potentials of if what they're thinking right now is going to be viable. They're looking for a sign. They're testing their energetic connection to you and being curious about the feeling they get when they probe your energy to see where you stand on how open or not you would be for negotiation. How stubborn your truths are. When we profess our love as divine feminines, we can come across as very steadfast in a certain opinion. The divine masculines are beginning to understand that that surety doesn't mean set in stone, doesn't mean gospel, doesn't mean rigid, doesn't mean unwavering. It means you're bringing your current best to the table with transparency, and they're starting to come around to that idea. Ooh, divine masculines. More confidence. Some of the insecurity, I'm hearing the insecurity that they haven't figured it out and everybody else has, is being seen. That they're like, nope, actually, I have a valid opinion and it's equally as valid as my divine feminines. But, you know, the key is, divine masculines who are watching this, is your divine feminine never was saying those things to profess to have had all the answers. Your divine feminine only ever brings their best to the table when they express the love. And so it's just a jumping off point with divine templates. It's not a be-all end-all statement that is limiting you. What is the biggest challenge? Having a radical new perception of when the connection disconnects. Divine masculines are seeing that there's a lot of virtue and benefit in feeling removed from love and truth and having space. They don't have to, wow, so many things are coming in. I'm not sure if that just made sense. They're beginning to see how times of isolation have been beneficial. They're also beginning to see how that doesn't need to be painful, that it can be utilized for emotional inspiration, and it doesn't need to mean rejection, left for dead, bleeding out, everything's ruined, in shambles. They're seeing that this connection has its own breath and it keeps coming back around and it's safe, and therefore they're seeing that it's safe to speak more transparently, more vulnerably. They're seeing they've projected. So that's a challenge, because now what? So what is the spirit-guided solution? Taking a leap of faith towards transparency, towards divine feminine, but admitting the challenges, expressing the emotional challenges that have come up for them, expressing the inner knowing of limitation or not, perceived limitation in the connection. Being able to bravely come forward and have open communication. Divine masculines, this is the next invitation for you by Spirit, is to put down the fear of right and wrong and come into the transparency that actually discovers what works for both. You've learned a lot about discernment. You have a lot of wisdom. You're up for it now, divine masculines. Where's the connection going in the near future? Secrets coming to light. Higher truths being seen. Higher love being celebrated. Holding communication I'm getting with this that airs the dirty laundry. That works on the puzzle, that sorts it out. I'm hearing reconciliation, but coming together and channeling, allowing divine loving communication to come through without being triggered. There's a sense of stamina and capacity here. Wisdom. I'm getting an incredible feeling of a divine masculine wisdom being shown to the divine feminine, and the divine feminine being seen. You know, when somebody expresses a truth beyond where another person is at, and it's not received on the conscious level, it still does go in there and affect. So divine feminines, every time you have expressed your heart, it has impacted, encouraged, inspired your divine masculine. And sometimes the divine masculines, I say this with love, take credit for some of those things that weren't fully realized at the time the divine feminine said them. I want to say for divine feminines that happens to, where you say something and your masculine seems oblivious and then brings exactly that same like aha moment to you, like it's their idea. That's a good step. Don't take offense to that. But this is one step beyond that. So amazing divine masculines, that your wisdom is, you know, innovative here, and in leadership and spiritual authority. Even if you're not presenting your concepts in a spiritual light, it is truly spiritual to advocate for higher truth, understanding, love, progress, connection. And so whether you think that's spiritual or not, that is spirituality in motion. So I do see a beautiful new level of connection being able to come in. It is starting energetically, everybody. So let's see what the Starseed cards can be for the divine feminine. We are getting Seal of Evolutionary Colors, Progressive Awareness and Multidirectional Change. I'm just hearing that, get ready, divine feminines. There's going to be something about your connection that's going to show you the evolution has occurred in some way, some change, some progressive understanding of the dynamic of real things showing up, of the way your divine masculine is interacting with you. Something like that is going to show you positive change in the right direction that makes you, it gives you a sense of encouragement that things are shifting. And for divine masculines, what can we see for divine masculines watching? The great elation, reconfiguration, cycles, and gratitude. So be thankful for this whole journey, divine masculines, and celebrate that you have gotten where you are with your whole heart because of this journey, because of your frustrating, incessant, gorgeous, divine feminine. Let that be something you're thankful for, instead of utterly maddened by, so that you can embrace the next cycle coming in, because there's multi-directional change and reconfiguration. That's being on the same page in a certain way. I'm hearing uncharted territory. Okay, everybody, many blessings. Bye for now.